fact I wasn't been here in the commentary booth for 2 races meant I forgot to switch the team music at the start of the stream. But does it really matter when we're getting one last race of the season? And definitely we are getting a new winner today. Since there is no girl, because well, he's not racing today, he's reported absence. Drake Dempsey is on PC already and doing some success in WR scoring points. That World Online race thingy. And I watched it myself. And the only non-top 2 winner, Cameron, well, we don't know what's going on with him. So definitely we're getting a new winner of the season, number 4. Like, imagine. We waited till Mexico to get another winner than just these 2. What do we have here in Melbourne is, well, a bit of rain. But yeah. Today I'm only by myself. Wojciech, the owner himself, is only by himself on the commentary booth with 18 people on the grid. Could have been full grid, but some complications on the way. So, yeah. We're here for one last time of the season here in Australia. We were supposed to race here like 2 weeks ago on December 5th. But as you know, there was drama at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and a little bit of crashes and touches, especially between the 2 championship contenders, which brought out 2 red flags and made us impossible to race. Well, all I know, we would make cleaner racing, to say the least. But it doesn't really matter more now, as we're racing anyways. So about these 80 drivers on the grid, well, since it's the last race, we have decided, well, if anyone can go with with line only or no assist and can race today, well, he's in. Except for the obviously there are full-time drivers like Jakub Trzeciak in the R17 or Chibuka Chukwu in the McLaren, both McLarens apparently, or Joshua Evans in the Williams, which is kind of a nice line, or Ben Riddle in the Red Bull Racing. But about the reserves, well, we've got mostly F2 guys, who are Adam Hurtosh in the Aston Martin. There is Yolmir Avendaño on the Alpine. Sorry for the wrong pronunciation if I do it wrong, but I'm no expert in Spanish. Michael Gallian in the Haas, the near F2 champion, but the spin on around lap 11 will cost him to DNF and not get that win in the championship. Last time out in Brazilian Grand Prix in F2. Marek Kincho, the Mercedes, 3rd place in F2 championship. We're still on the F2 as Liam Cross from the 10th place is racing here as well. He's got 4th place in Imola in F1. Perry Wagner here is teammate of Liam, the AlphaTauri. 11th place with a victory, but as you might know, loads of DNFs on the way. 11 he has calculated, I'm not sure. And the champion of F2 division himself, Kalle Pulkkinen. Also, we've got drivers from lower divisions, and these are Maciej Lutyński and Jakub Czekaj, both Ferrari teammates from F3. Scored 4th and 5th place in that championship. And also F4. Well, yes, we've got F4 drivers of Kasper Helm in the Ferrari and Alex Kurowski in the Williams. So that's the whole grid for today in the Interqualies in Melbourne. So yellow flags in the sector 3, but yeah, that's a great opportunity to turn on the track map and telemetry and stuff and so on. Let me know in the chat how is the feedback, how is the technical quality of the stream, so just to make sure it's going well today. Traditionally, I mention about the Season 7 signups that are open since November, but since the deadline is coming and it's in 2 weeks, well, I'd better say that we do have signups open for Season 7, and it's one of the greatest opportunities to sign in. Simple as that. So yellow flags in the sector 3. The first one, I suppose, is one of the automatics to settle up, and it's Jakub Krzysiek in 32.8. Just for your information, I'm using the real names. 2 milliseconds behind Alex Gurowski in the Williams. Great performance with Paul, who's got 3rd place in the F4 championship. Caleb Lukinen outscores them both with 32.5. Sniper makes 33.3. Looks like he's not used to inter conditions. As the next one is one of the Ferraris, and it's Fabio Grimaldi in a Ferrari. As he gets 33.6. Continuing, one of the McLarens of Both America. But he's invalidated his lap time and he's trying again. Jakub Czekaj claims that this is his 1st try with just line. And it looks like he's, for the first time with line only, he's doing pretty well with 35.7, and he spins round but without any damage. So that's the good side for him. Jaromir with 33.0 will be switching between these all points of view, as we will switch to Ben Riedel, who's now crossing the line to get 2nd place with 32.5. Well, that's been a bit of a lap. I can see also one of the Alpines crossing the line. And Zaxek, who hasn't scored any victory this season, he might be doing this. And this season, as there is no Guil, who had dominated the Brazilian Grand Prix when I was racing actually. Nearly got 4, but I got a little bit of a moment. And wasn't the moment after winning the championship, like Sebastian Vettel did in 2010. But speaking about Guil, he's completely dominated that race. He's controlled it all the way, got pole position, got the fastest lap, and the race win. And Michael Engelien's got 3 milliseconds ahead of Ken. And it's provisional pole, but the one chasing him now is Mark Kubota in a McLaren. This driver, the Romanian, has already got the guaranteed seat for season 7, and now also gets provisional pole with 1.9. And I wonder if the conditions are getting better. As you can see, the tires are improving, but we will see in the future. So, yeah, before the rest makes the laps, I will quickly say what is required for the sign-up for Season 7. Of course, except that internet connection things and basic information. Well, Mexico on dry conditions on the time trial, and Spain on wet conditions on the time trial. These are the 2 time trials. And for the first time ever, we're getting trial race on a Grand Prix mode. Axel gets in. Where you have to race 50% normal race in Russia, but there are of course some differences comparing to real league races. Like there's no safety cars, there's no damage, and there are flashbacks available. And the strategy has to be soft medium, not the track. There's yellow flags in sector 3, and I believe that's one of the Williams missing out the braking point or just letting people by. I wonder. We're with Liam Cross, who's on the AlphaTauri and doing his hot lap right now. I wonder if drivers are doing similar hot laps each, like Wagner, who's gone 32.3. We've got 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. As Marco Botta now outscores, clearly getting 31.7. Looking pretty well on these inter conditions, and I wonder if he's got a wet setup, because I'm still not informed about the weather conditions. So Liam is already in the sector 3, good way to cross the line, and we'll see if he gets into top 10. Most of the drivers are... Knew that was gonna happen on the chat. I don't know if... I don't even know what that means, Mr. MotoGP. Like, for real. 32.4 for Liam Cross. There is one of the Alpines spinning round at Axe, getting that provisional pole. And one of the Alpines is Jaromir, the span road on the straight. Like, I would get it if it was on the corner exit, but it was on the straight, where the Venezuelan driver has spun round and lost loads of time and has to do another lap. here in Melbourne. It looks like the fight for the victory is going to be between Aurélien Lepenroux and Bottas Marco in the top two, separated by 77 milliseconds, just like Valtteri Bottas' number. For the reference, as Sikel invalidates his lap, yellow flags is to one of the McLarens, I believe. It's going to be Marco who's going to the pit, so it's Jabuika. This qualifying session, despite the conditions, is getting very interesting. Every single driver is constantly improving themselves. Each minute we've got a couple of drivers making the new times on the board, and Wagner is improving himself by 46 milliseconds, which places him in 4th place, ahead of Ben Reader, who is now going out onto the track. Also, let's not forget about Alex Kurowski, who's been in 3rd place right now with 32.2. Is there a minimum time in the time trials to be selected for Season 7? Well, the only minimum time trial required is to be in top 20 of the division. And I see that there is a bit of issues going on the stream. Maybe I just pause it and it will help. But anyways, going back to your question, there is no minimum time. But I'm going to check the Season 7 recruitment standings. And for example, the advanced level, which, remember, this is only assists matter in terms of which profile you are placed in. Currently, as far as I'm aware, let me just sort it because I couldn't do it on the phone. Every full-time seat will be given to you if you make approximately 16.0 in the Mexico should be enough. But remember, there's still 2 weeks and there's still plenty of drivers to sign in. So just do the best lap times you can. And that's it. Gaps are going with us on the mid-season signups. Meanwhile, we have missed that Liam Cross taking the lead of this qualifying with 31.6. I wonder if this is conditions getting better or drivers going faster and getting used to those into tires, as Liam nearly misses the pit entry. Continuing, the top 3 is not on the hot lap, but Wagner is lacking fuel right now, and I wonder if he will make it to the line if he is on the way to improve his time trial. The qualifying time. Let's see. I cannot see the delta, I'll be honest with you, because it's on the middle of the screen as Wagner goes to the pits, so no qualifying improvement. It looks like Michal Engelian is on the lap as well. How about Alex Kurowski, who's dropped to 6 on the meantime, as he's getting 33.0. He's down to 6th place, and Ben Riedel is catching him. He's currently on the sector 3. Who's close to the line? It's Caleb Lukinen, I guess? Or one of the Alfa Romeos, to say the least, as Maciej Lutiński retires from the session, bins it! Same as Jakub Czekaj, both Ferrari F3 drivers have been disqualified from this Grand Prix. For the qualifying. Maciej's got retired. Jakub's been disqualified. Sorry for that little error, as they are still starting on 2 last places. It all depends on Kasper Helm, who's only between lap, I guess, because he's invalidated, or he's just going slow. He's going slow with 17 seconds down. Marco Botta is on his lap, and I can see one of the Alpines being right behind him. As it must be Aurélien Lepenroux. No, it's Jaromir. As Aurélien starts his hot lap right now. One of the 2 favorites for the victory today, it looks like. But will I get the notification? Yep. That's full dry race. No problem, Harder. I hope you will stay until the end of the race and have fun watching last time out in F1. Four minutes to go. We'll switch to the McLaren of Marco Botta as his teammate goes to the pits. But the standings, just to make it very clear, Guido is the champion of 35 points advantage of Drake Dempsey. Both of the drivers are not racing today. Google just cannot race today, and Drake's on PC. So, and this is a PlayStation division. So technically, you cannot race with PlayStation guys on PC. Aurélien Lepenroux gets 3rd place for sure, with 183 points at the moment. 100 points exactly has Chibuuka Chukfuma on the 4th. And he's fighting Botta Marco and Tobia Grimaldi, a Javier here in Ferrari, for the 4th place. The gap is like, Chibuuka Chukfuma has got 100, Botta Marco is 6 points behind, and Tobia is another 6 points behind Loki. 7th place belongs to Jack Jessel, definitely, because Paula Hausmann is not racing today, with 66 points on the board. Jack is not racing today as well. Paulo's got 42, and it all depends on Caleb Lukinen if he gets the warranted Season 7 seed. Well, it is still to be made clear if we are getting no assist division or online-only division next season. Switching to X, he's lost a bit of time. 1 second. Who's close to the line? Close to the line is one of the Williams drivers, and I believe that might be... No, it isn't Kukuchik, it's Joshua Evans, the Williams. And Ferrari is right behind him, and it's Tobia Grimaldi, who we've been talking about, the 6th place. How do you get into time trial? Well, I cannot watch it now, but there's that solo menu. And how do you sign in? If you check the Discord server and have clicked that confirmation button on the rules, you have an access to the server in general. Like, you can view the things, except the basics, like how to join. By the FAQ, if you check Season 7 signups category, you'll see the links on the S7 sign up here, and what you need to do there is explained on the instructions channel. Well, I also have to continue the standings before all the drivers go on their last runs, as Tobia Grimaldi's got 32.1 and 4th place. Aurélien Lepenroux is on the way to make his last lap of this qualifying. Ferry Wagner is on the way as well. AlphaTauri is looking pretty strong in this queue. But finishing quickly the standings, David and Halvul not racing today on the 9th place, 35 points, Caleb Lukinen 34 for the F2 champion. Where did Wagner go? I don't think he's improved and he's doing a new lap. Michał Engeli on the 6th, Jakub Trzeciak retires from the session, and I believe that's been in the pits. We're with Jaromir into turn 13, then 14. This is still an old layout for the Melbourne, the Albert Park circuit. And the new one you will see, for example, this corner being more to the inside and wider. Actually, loads of the corners there are wider. And the turn 9 turn sequence is replaced with a straight. Just for your information, if you have missed out that one, Yami goes in with 32.2. But also remember, all of the drivers are getting the tire choice free for the race, as it's going to be a fully dry race. Unfortunately, there's no rain today anymore, except for this 20 seconds. As yellow flags in Sector 1 are caught by one of the Alpines who's already made a lap, and it's Jaromir who's on the NIN. Lepenroux is about to cross the line here in qualifying. Can he get that pole position? It's not going to be his first, but he's, for example, got one on the French Grand Prix. He doesn't, he misses on the pole position by 23 milliseconds. That's been very close. And it's Wagner taking the pole away from his teammate. 31.565 for the Dutchman. But it's not over yet, because we've got a couple of drivers still on the way into the checkered flag. It's going to be, for example, Marco Botta or Kasper Kian, who's crossing the line with no improvement. Yellow flags in Sector 2, but it's one of the Mercedes, I guess, or Jaromir just letting people by. Yep, that's Jaromir. We're staying with the McLaren driver, fighting for the 4th in the championship. All of them three, Chukfuma, Grimaldi and Botta, are getting the seat for Season 10. But there's still that honor of finishing 4th, bigger than finishing 6th. And Marco Botta, it looks like he's going to cross the line. Josh Evans gone 2nd with 31.6, and Marco Botta takes the pole with 31.2 with a big advantage of 0.3 of a second. The conditions either are getting better but I don't see it, or Travis got that line dry enough to make very decent times. As it looks like Ben Riedel got 5th as well, but with Michael Engel in the Haas near F2 champion twice, or even 3 times, if we count also season 4, where he's finished 3rd in F2 championship. There was also 2nd in season 5, and 2nd in the season 6. But in season 5 there was no decider because Wagoner smashed the entire division. With me as his teammate in Ferrari, just saying. As Yami retires from the session, that's it for the qualifying today. As well, what can we say? Very interesting qualifying session. No Guil, and we've got new dominator of Marco Botta, who's never won a race here in ERO. But he's already got 3 podiums in his bag. He's got 3rd place in Imola and 2nd places in Spa-Francorchamps and Interlagos. Oh, wait, there has been a position update, and I didn't include that one. Why position update? Because there have been steward inquiries, as Marco Bottas got 3rd place in Brazil instead of a 2nd I was talking about, as King Hodgson's gone 2nd. So there will be changes. Aurélien Lependreau on the 4th place, but it doesn't really matter for him. 10 points for Mike Truss. Like, imagine just forgetting to make standing. So, to clarify, after all these position changes, because I'm a genius, I forgot. Yep, on the real note. Thibaut Gachuk-Fuma 102 points, Aurélien Lependreau 180, and then going down the field, Botta Marco 91, Toby Grimaldi 88, David and Halvol 33. So Caleb Lukinen, the F2 champion Ken, is moved into 9th place now. So Ken needs to get 9 points today because Paolo Hausmann's got more 4th places to get that position number 8 in the championship. The formation lap has started, as we've got the drivers on the track. There's the best qualifying position here for Josh Evans on the 3rd place. Also Liam Cross on the 4th, Wagner on the 2nd, and Ben Riedel on the 5th. Lots of twists out there. Here in last F1 race of the season in Australia. We're getting the lights out very soon, in like a minute. You can write down your predictions in the chat, of course. So, what we're seeing is a McLaren on the pole position. This is the first pole ever for Marco Botta. As far as I'm aware, you can correct me on the chat if other thing happened. If it happened the other way around and got that earlier, but I cannot remind myself because the only pole sitters in the past were Guil, Drake, Axe, and that's actually it. No! Sorry! Marco Bottas got points for the sprint race, but we do not count it as pole position. It was, I believe, Mikulici. Yeah, it was Mikael Korhonen in the sprint race. Anyways, we need to get concentrated a bit, because we're speaking about random things, and we're gonna race very soon. 29 laps of Albert Park circuit have to be made and raced around to decide the last winner, the 4th winner of the season. As Marco Botta lines up, alongside him there is Ferry Wagner and Josh Evans in the 3rd place, Liam Cross on the 4th. The grid is very interesting, and it's older to say the least, as we're getting lights out very, very soon, within seconds. Lap 1 of the Australian Grand Prix is going to start. We're seeing a bit of glitches, but doesn't really matter. Jakubczak has been dropped back to 4th place, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go right now as we're racing with Marco Botta on the soft tires and Wagner on the soft tires as well, just gone mediums as Marco Botta covers the inside and kills that 1st place very peacefully and takes the lead by a big margin. Josh Evans is fighting for the 2nd place with Ferry Wagner, and it looks like he's getting it right now. Ferry might go down the inside into turn 3, and he does so. Liam Cross was also looking for a move, and he's got that right. There's one of the drivers on the gravel trap, but it looks like he's dropped a couple of places. There has been no damage out yet, as we're racing very cleanly through Sector 1. There is yellow flags in Sector 1. It's Toby Grimaldi who's missed a lot in this carnage. Maciej Rutnicki spinning round after turn 5 on the way to turn 6. This looks like the top 3 stay at the same order of Marco Botta, Ferry Wagner and Josh Evans on the 3rd place. More and more spirits are going on as Adam Kurtor spins out as well. Thankfully, no damage, I guess. This turn 12 is going to be mighty today, as we've got a couple of crashes out there. When there was a proper Australian Grand Prix, here in the season finale in F1 we have seen none at the moment. First for Marco Botta, 2nd for Liam, 3rd for Axe. It looks like there's still just on the way who can go medium soft or medium hard strategy. The alternate strategy isn't really that OP right here, that's powerful, as you can trash the softs for like 12 laps here in Melbourne. We can see predicted pit stop strategy, soft to hards on lap 10 to 12, mediums to hards on lap 30 to 17, but they wouldn't really trust them, as there's a spin of Chipuka Chikuma in the McLaren. As driver's been back into 15th place only. Looks like he's got no wing damage, and I believe this stayed that way of just being a spin. And I wonder if there was a contact between him and Joalme, which would have been a contact in the 2nd race in a row, as they crashed out on Brazilian Grand Prix. There has been no DNFs for any of them, but there were wing damages and even side pod damage for Chibukem, who still got that 6th place, which is pretty impressive. As Ferry Wagner is like half a second behind Marco Botta, and he's keeping that distance. He might be getting DRS on the next lap, definitely on the next 2 DRS zones, as the 2nd one after turns 1 and 2. Well, it pretty much depends on the 1st DRS zone. As you can see, Maciej Rutnicki spins out again. But my point is about these DRS, that if you get no DRS on the 1st straight, you are not getting the DRS on the 2nd straight as well. Yellow flags in every single sector. There have been for a minute. As that's Wagner with missed Wagner spinning round. As looks like he might be disqualified. Yes, he is. He was waiting too long to get the car going, and the game decided that it's the end of the race for him. You can see that's the end for Ferry Wagner. How much of a bad luck this season? 11 DNFs in F2. Now when you go to the F1 race and you get the chance for a podium to say the least, and she's getting disqualified on the lap 3. What we have also to mention is Wagner's got like what, 3 pole positions at the first 6 races, and in all of them he has retired. We're speaking about this season, of course. Well, hope it gets better for the season 7, because this man's got a championship material for F2 division, and if there is line in F1, of course it depends on how many no assist drivers sign in. He might be even fighting for the first division. As more bad luck for AlphaTauri, as Liam Cross is disconnected and is out of the session. His AI is still going, and if he comes back quickly, yes he does, he's got to get that car as soon as possible. Otherwise, he'll drop out of the points places. He has to be very careful when going back on the track, because because if he joins back instantly, he's getting that car going. But thankfully, Liam was in him, and there was no ghosting at all. So after all of this mess, on the first week we still get Marco Botta pretty dominant run at the moment. Yellow flag sector 3, Toby Grimaldi is out of the session, and this might trigger out a safety car, and it is a safety car, so the things are getting even more interesting. The gap I was talking about Botta Marco that has been increasing and getting only bigger and bigger, it's now gone it's all gone. Lap 4 to DNFs. DNF every second lap. No, just don't. I will not. I will not make any conclusions out of that. I still don't understand how on earth Pagador's got disqualified, but this is exactly the same as Banks, Jakub Czekaj. The F3 race, Maciek gets 5-second time penalty in the pit. And I wonder where he's speeding at all. He's going to get lapped. Why? Even if you have wing damage, but there's a safety car going out, go for that one more lap. Seriously. I believe this is one of the most basic mistakes of a league racer can do. Apart, of course, from intentionally driving the other driver or just missing out races, not like without a reason. It's called unreported absences in our league. Like, Maciek's just ruined his chances for getting any points. We know he has not been the fastest driver, but right now, well, his race is ruined, to say the very least. Unless there's a miracle and all of the drivers ahead of him spin out, there's a new safety car. He's trying to re-overtake, but unfortunately this is not the real F1 where you can unlap himself. And there must be a petition to Cole Masters to change that. So we are under the full safety car conditions, waiting for McLaren, for Koguchi, for all the drivers to join the pack in order to reset the racing. So we will have definitely one more lap behind the safety car. Speaking about the strategies, we haven't showed that once at all, and I also showed the penalties. There we go. 5 seconds for Liam and Maciek, 3 seconds for Ben Riddle. All of the drivers in the top 10 have not pitted. Only 2 of the drivers are on soft, so Mark Abbott and Aurélien Lepenroux are looking to stretch these softs to at least lap 10. We're hoping for the chaos, so they can pit again. Evans, Riedel, Engelian, Avendaño, Jencho, Bulkinen, Helm, Kurtosh. All of these top 10 are medium tires. New mediums for Liam Cross. Jakub Czekaj is on mediums for the start of this race. Hards for Jakub Czechak and Alex Kurowski. Ciebukeczek Fuma's got new mediums as well, and Maciej Lutiński is on hard tires. Will he try unlapping himself? Well, I wonder. He's now trying to let past his teammate Otapa. So the protection of Alphatic is not really getting on that much. Well, 2 of the drivers are on the podium, yes. But Liam is down to 11th and has got a long way to go. A long way to get back into the podium place, which he has potential for. And new medium tires. Might get an advantage of like 15% of the tire wear of the rest of the field on medium tires on the yellow compound. The top 2, the top 3 are keeping some sort of gap between each other as safety car goes in this lap. I personally remember how crazy the Australian Grand Prix were in the past. Like, Season 2 we've got wet dry race. Plenty of crashes, of course, because that's Australia. Season 3 was a bit of a carnage. with 10 finishers and a last lap move of Alan Vermaton Plausible for the race win. Plausible got penalized for that one. Season 4 was a collision between Maxro and Axe, the two teammates for the championship, and Maxro won that championship after 9 victories in a row. But now, in Season 6, I didn't mention Season 5, there was a race on the wet, mainly conditions. How it will look like in Season 6 on fully dry conditions. As Marco leads the way, ahead of Aurélien Lepenroux, who's been caught napping and losing around half a second. Marco Bottas moving around a bit. Maciej Lutowski is now trying to let pass every single one, but Otap has lost 1.5 seconds to him. Yellow flags in sector 1, but it's Mercedes of Maciej letting everyone past. He'll be lapped down at the moment. Josh Evans is looking for a move on Aurélien Lepenroux. McLaren spins route, and that's Chibuga Jikfuma on the position number 15. As we've got a pretty much calm restart, actually in the front to say the least. Wonder how it was on the behind. I only see one driver spinning, and it's again Chibuka. 1 second is the gap between the top two. Will Aurélien Lepenroux get that victory of the season? He was by far the third best driver of the division, behind Guillaume Darunia and Jake Dempsey. 4 tenths of a loss in sector 2, Barks comparing to his best lap. But what we are looking at is Josh Evans at the moment, who's now going closer and closer to the Alpine driver and maybe, just maybe, get that second place in the near future. Liam Cross on the new mediums overtakes Adam Hurtosh. Oh, there's a crash on the 5th place, and Helen Gallion has completely lost his front wing, goes back to the pits, and has to get a new one. Simple as that. As you can see, he's going to the pit, and for the new, I guess, this will be hard tires. No point to go on softs or mediums and getting a 2-stopper. I think it goes on hard tires, as I said, which are pretty good tires if you are going to pit early, because even if you pit on lap 5, you may go till the end of the race. Just like Jan Lichnarski did in F4 and won the F4 championship with 1 race ahead of this division, that division. A huge crash for the Austrian and big damage pushes him back into 15th, having to fight from the back. Well, at least Liam might be happy because he's got 1 place for free and now is chasing down Kasper Hjelmon for the 8th, and looks like he's getting way faster than the Danish. The first Danish in F1 division since I don't even remember when is now going to defend against Liam Cross for the 8th place. It looks like Liam is now getting the move on the inside of the turn 13, as Kasper Hill is not putting in too much of a hard fight, but he may though fight back as they are side by side into turn 14, and it's Liam way ahead, and it looks like the battle is finished at the moment. Adam Hurtosh has now to deal with the Ferrari. DRS has been enabled. Kiam will not use the DRS for the next 2 zones, as I explained sometime in the past of the stream. The gap between the top 2 is now dropped to 8 tenths. The 2 tenths is the gap between Kyle Pukin and Marek Jęczo, who has been in contention for the F2 championship, but the end of the season crisis has made it more difficult and then impossible to fight for that first place in the standings. Yep, he's got the strong beginning of the season, Marek Jęczo, with 4 points in 5 races and 5 in 7. Yep. But then he has got only 1 podium since Austria Grand Prix, and it was Australia actually, so good memories from this track. Also, Adam Hurtosh is fighting Kasper Hjelm for the ninth. Can he make the move on the turn 11? Like, that's impossible to make. And most likely one of those would end up in the wall, like just like Gaet and Nizzle, the brothers and teammates. And run in season 3, they have crashed out in turn 11, while one was trying to overtake another, as Kasper Hjelm defends that place pretty well, and gets that ninth place after a little error of Adam Hurtosh, who has got him already for the ninth place. So it looks like Adam is now trying to fight Kasper. Will he get him as Kalapukinen gets Otapa on the 7th and there is Liam on the 8th looking to make a move. Definitely he might do it now, as Otapa's got a little bit of a slide out of turn 2 on the exit, as Liam goes down the inside into turn 3 and makes the move as well. Gets that 7th place, same as Adam Hurtos on Kasper Hill. Will Kasper now fight back? No, but he still made a lot. Unintentionally, of course. This is not Paris Verstappen in Abu Dhabi. But now Libanov loses 2 seconds to his teammate from F2, Marek and another second to Liam Cross. Lost out big time, but now it's Aurélien Lepenroux and Bota Marco fighting for the lead and maybe the victory of the race. Behind them, keeping up, is Josh Evans. And all depends on the strategy who gets out on top of this race. Because both Bota and Aurélien will go to the pits soon, maybe within 3 laps for the medium tires. And Josh can stay out on these mediums till lap 20 and then go to softs. And then be faster on track, so it's all down on the tire choices. Not only the tire choices, but how you manage your tires. If you can make them push, or you'll be behind and lose out big time. As we're getting the second DRS zone, Aurélien Lepenroux is going to make a move around the outside of Marco Bota, and he hasn't made that done yet. Stays in the 2nd place. Bota defended well, as 3/10 is the gap, so I think we might be seeing a proper overtake soon. If you wonder what was that sound, that was just me looking for things. As Jakub Trzeciak gets 3-second time penalty. This is just a Windows notification. So, during this battle, Josh Evans gets joined the party as he's only half a second behind. He was around a second behind. Now he's 6/10 down and also getting DRS for sure. So he might gain a lot of time if he gets these two, if he gets clear of these two. As Aurélien is not able to make the move, to make the pass on the McLaren. Might he do it on the outside? No, as Bota covers the line very well indeed. The difference on the ERS is a couple of percent of advantage for Marco Bota, but will he use that ERS power? Axe does not. Looks like he's saving it for the second ERS zone where it's easier to make the pass, as you're getting a heavier brake zone. As here you go to around 170 km per hour, 170. Now we can go to 100 and actually try making a move around the outside into turn 3. And Aurélien Lepenroux takes the lead. Not yet. Marco Bota pushes him a bit wide. There was a contact between these two drivers, but Bota keeps that very well indeed. The one who's losing a big time out there is definitely Josh Evans. And Axe, I guess, as well. But that's a good defense for the Romanian. Even with a little bit of a scrap, he's doing that well to keep the lead and chances for that first ever win. Who's also behind them is Ben Riedel with around a second of a gap. Now it's 9/10 down, but he's got that 3-second time penalty, which is definitely not helping him to get closer and actually try winning the race. It's Aurélien Lepenroux. Yami gets a 3-second time penalty. Will Aurélien try to make a move? Not here, not into turn 13. That was way too far for him to even try. But he might go for a move down the inside. No, this would be a last lap maneuver. As Bota Marco is cutting to the inside and going to the pits, hitting the bolliard, and I wonder what will the steward of Luke Jobson say about this. As Ben Riedel is now trying to make a move on Josh Evans and try getting that second place after all this mess. Well, Ben Riedel is going on the second and will get the net lead of the race, excluding of course the penalty. All these top 4 have got the safe gap of around 4 seconds to Jaromir Avendano. As Kasper Helm is also going to the pits, and I wonder if this is for wing change, because he's going on the hard. I haven't seen any sign of the front nose being changed. The gap between Josh and Ben is around half a second. Josh nearly loses it. I got a little bit stressed about it. It looks like the gap for Ben is over a second. So the pit entry of Marco Botta lost the big time for these two medium runners. Will they close up on Aurelian? They have already gone by 2/10 faster during this section. But Ben is not likely to get the RS as we've already passed the detection zone. Aurelian goes to the pits for an overcut on Marco Botta. And will he make that successfully? We'll see. Let's hold the gap to the leader. The gap between these two was around 20 seconds. So they might be toe to toe. We'll switch to these two as Marco Botta, well, he's still far back. Josh will stay on the second place. There's a bit of DRS train fight for on top and Libano fighting for that fourth place. So we'll see. Marco Botta is now going down the around the outside, sorry, into turn 1 and gets that undercut successfully. Marek Hincho and Adam Hurtosz fighting for that 6th. The teammates from F2 where they raced in Mercedes this season. We're speaking about F2. This is F1, just to make it clear. Are now fighting for the 6th. And also there's that train behind Hugh Almer, who's losing already 4.3 seconds. The top 2, 4.6. Trying to defend very well from Kalle Plukinen and Liam Cross. As Jakub Trzeciak gets disconnected and Josh Evans takes back the lead of the race. And we thought about fighting back. But Kalle Plukinen is now trying to take third. As they are going side by side into turn 14 and he makes the move down. Jakub Trzeciak gets 5 seconds of time penalty. Apparently his AI Yomi goes for a move down the inside. There's going to be nearly 3 wide between these 3. And I wonder who's getting the RS out of all of that mess. As it's Yomir and Yomi's getting no DRS, but overtake mode. And trying to get that third place back. And he's doing so. Ben Reader is spinning round. We'll see him now recovering himself. Maybe scaring these 3 a bit. But there's a 3-way fight. For the second place, Yomi takes it back successfully and will keep out that one, possibly, until the next DRS zone. Well, sorry if I mix up some words a bit, but this is getting crazy. Here for the third, net 5th, 4th place, as Jakub Trzeciak joins back the lobby and will get racing once again, overtaken already by Jigo Fuma and is now currently in 12. I believe he will be on the P13 behind Jakub Trzeciak. As the gap is now 3/10, let's see the difference on the ERS. Yami's got 35%, Kalle has got 65%, and Liam less than 30%. So the AlphaTauri driver has got the hardest situation out of all of those 3. As Kalle Plukinen goes for a move down the inside and now takes that 2nd place. One of the Mercedes is spinning round and it's Maciej Lutyński. Because Mercedes of Marek Jęczo is on the 7th place. Still right behind Libano. Who's behind Ben Rievel? As Kalle Plukinen has got no DRS yet again, he's swimming around a bit. To break the toe, we know that the toe is way less significant in F1 game compared to real life, but Yomi will try to go around the outside and makes a pass on the fin. These 3 are really fun to watch. Yomi is getting DRS and defending yet again. Liam Cross will try to do down the inside and goes for the 3rd place as well. Maybe pushing a bit wide. Kalle Plukinen got that 4th place anyway. 3rd, sorry, because Ben is behind them. 7 tenths are separating 2nd from 4th, and this is getting pretty impressive. On the clear lead is Josh Evans. And I wonder if he goes for the safety car. Not now, but in like 4 laps to go on soft tires. And got no problem in terms of getting ahead of Marco Botta and Aurélien Le Penroux as Kukuchi gets 3 seconds. Liam tries to move down the inside the turn 11. That was centimeters from touching and sending the AlphaTauri into the wall. But it looks like Yomi is getting that 2nd. What a great defensive drive for the Alpine. And I'm getting really stressed over them, as it might happen anytime, the collision. I hope it will not. I'm serious with you. But this Titanic fight is actually Titanic for the second. As Liam Cross gets DRS from Yomi, Yomi has to defend into turn 1, he does so, and still gets that second place on his hands. Liam is going to overtake him, probably around the outside. Into turn 3, he's already ahead. Will Yomi fight back? Not. It looks like he will not. Liam on the 4 laps of tires makes a little bit of a mistake and slides around a bit. Telchik makes the fastest lap of the race on hard ice, and I believe that was a glitch, and he will not. It will not be counted unless somebody magically makes the lap on softs. Maciej Lutnicki gets 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As you're going through turns 9 and 10, being a straight on the next game, or just on the real life actually it became. Skala Pulkinen has now to defend, is the one to defend from for Realme, as Realme is without DRS support, as Liam is already gone by 1.0 seconds, 1.1 seconds. So Khaled looks like might finish Yami's dreams of getting possibly a strong top 5 finish, to say the least. As we still have to count that Marco Botta and Axe have pitted, and they are going to overtake all of the top 7 at the moment. Let's check out the gap between Josh and Marco Botta. It's 14 seconds, so if Josh gets into the pits right now, he is going on the next lap, I guess. He is going to be around 5 seconds behind and ahead of Chibuka Chukfuma, who is on to 10. As Michael Engelin fights Jakub Trzeciak for the 12th place, gets the move done, or actually it's a ghost, because I've seen Jakub being disconnected for the second time running. 6.4 is the gap, yellow flags in 6 to 1, and it's Yolmir spinning ground with... yeah, that's with Kalle Pulkinen spinning out yet again. It must have been a contact that we have missed due to an overtake on the 12th place. So, congratulations, Michael Engelian and Jakub Trzeciak. You have become the new Lance Strolls. As there was a spin in the fight for like 5th place in the race results. Is Ken going to serve some trouble to Koguchi, who must be very careful, as there's another spin of Yomir as well. And you can see that letter F below the exit sign. Well, F. Have to pay respects for the chance. Unless there's a safety car on the soon. So yellow flags yet again. And this time it's an Alfa Romeo of Jakub Czekaj in the 15th place at the moment. So many spins. This is not helping Josh though, because he's lost another second to the top 2 and looks like he's only getting that 3rd place. Why I cannot choose any driver? Meanwhile, Adam Hurtosz goes into the pits. As we are getting Aurélien Le Pen and Botta Marco very close on the 5th place fight. These two are really fighting for the race win, as Adam Hurtosz goes into the pits. Aurélien will try to go around the outside in turn 3, and he makes the move. Not really. He's been pushed wide yet again and has to stay behind Marco Botta for another couple of corners, to say the least. That's a spin, and I wonder who spun round. It's Alex Kurowski and the Williams. I thought it was a Williams. I would be horribly wrong if I was speaking about Josh. Meanwhile, Aurélien gets 3-second time penalty. That severely damages his chances of getting win. Marco Botta is also getting help from Marek Jędrzej on the 4th. It's yellow flag in 6 to 1. Are caused? Well, I don't really know. As Jakub Trzeciak is disconnected anyways. Might have been Libanov. I don't really know. Liam's got another half a second from Josh, so if there was no disconnection for this driver, Josh goes into the pits. Josh goes into the pits. Speaking about Liam, I was thinking that if Liam has got no disconnection this race, he might be even fighting the win. Ben Riddle goes to the pit lane as well. Maciej Lutnicki gets 3 seconds hit again, and Marek Jędrzej goes to the pits as well. So the fight is on between Botta and Aurélien, currently only on the track. But if Marco Botta gets that 3-second time penalty, and I cannot check the race director to say if he's close to get it, not to spoil the party. It's on the track at the moment, but it will also be on the race results if the Romanian gets the penalty. But about Aurelian, he looks like he's got a little bit of a slide. Still got fastest sector 1 time. Little bit of ERS though, because he's got 30%. We'll switch the gap to... Oh, wait, let's stay. The gap between Josh and net top 2, because we assume Liam goes to the pits on the short notice. Or waits for a safety car yet again. Is around 10 seconds or something like this. So Josh is on the great way to get a podium. But if it's going to be a third place, or maybe second, or maybe even a race win, it all depends how hard are these two going to fight. I guess Aaron has to overtake Bota as soon as possible and get from his DRS, get out from his DRS in order to make sure he's winning that race even with the time penalty. As he's now going around the outside, it looks like into turn 3, and this time he's very close. They're squeezing each other apparently. There has been a little bit of contact, and he's going actually around the inside and now makes the move in turn 5. Yes, he does. That was very close between these two. Marco Bottas gone forced wide, I believe. Millimeters from touching. Actually, there was touching. Let's say millimeters from a tragedy. But George, it looks like he's got around 1.5 seconds. That one. Stinging for that second place anyways. And Bota has got a little bit more of ERS. And has got... Well, he's got 1 lap older tires. But he's got DRS advantage. Lap 21 of this Australian Grand Prix. We're heading to lap 22 very soon, with Liam Cross still being on the lead of the race. And Aurélien Le Pen on the second. And Bota Marco on the third. So Michael gets 3 seconds worth of time penalty for exceeding track limits. Another 3 times, because I've seen him getting 1 penalty before, I guess. Well, let's focus on the fight yet again, as Josh has regained another second, and Marco Bota will try to go around the outside. We've got the best camera ever, the best point of view, as Marco Bota nearly spins out. Now he has to fight back. There's yellow flags down into sector 3, and I believe that's one of the Mercedes or Adam Hurtosh. Adam Hurtosh it is, it looks like. It's got Alex Kurowski fighting him for that 10th place. Maybe we switch out to that one, as Williams gets the position number 9 on the old hard tires. Great job from the Williams driver. Switching yet again to the net top 2. We assume that Williams going to pit anyways. He's been on the medium tires at the start of this race. Yep, Jason, you're right. Thank you for the kind words. I'm also waiting for the Season 7. Because I personally believe that this might be a way better season, the Season 7, comparing to what we have now, as Arce pushed Marco Bota wide. And this might be reported by the McLaren driver, because it has been an obvious push after the move around the outside Marco Bota was trying. And now the gap between these two is around 8 tenths. After this pushing wide, Marco Bota, I don't know what he's trying. Nearly lost a car a lap ago. He's very careful with the throttle. And he must get as soon as possible, as close as possible to Aurélien Le Pen, as Ben Riddle, more trouble for McLaren, as Ben Riddle overtakes Chibuke Chukuma. But remember, Chibuke and Liam most likely going to the pits. Half a second of a gap between the two drivers fighting for the race win. As Jaromir overtakes Tibenov, who's gone into the pits for another time. I wonder if the Slovak driver has got wing damage. Now looking at Marco Bota, he's not lost anything during the Sector 2 after the squeeze, and he's now looking for another opportunity to get past Arce. The only thing they're losing, the only driver they're losing to is Josh, as yellow flags in Sector 2, and it's going to be a Williams of Alex Śmigowski, who's out of the race. And I wonder if he's moving. He is moving, so this has been retirement by himself. Looks like he has damaged his front wing. We'll see maybe, or maybe not. Let's switch back to the battle for the victory. As Marco Botta is around 3/10, we'll try to go around the outside this time. Alexa has something to say about it. Yet again, they force each other wide, but they keep it touchable. And to turn 4, and Alexa stays in the lead. Well, I know I'm speaking the lead, because still, yet again, I say, Liam has to go to the pits. Or we'll get a puncture, I don't know really. But Marco Botta looks like he will not go for a move into turn 9 due to DRS on the next, not this straight, but the next straight. And try to make a move around the inside into turn 11 if he tries that one. This might end very wrong, so he stays behind. Very wise decision, to be honest, as he got a little bit of a slide. Botta is now going around the outside. Lippenroot tries to force him wide, but he wasn't even close to McLaren. Josh has already closed down to 2 seconds. And it looks like he might be also looking for that race win. He must be very cautious, because these two are fighting like hell. Can Marco Botta go down the inside to turn 1? Yes, he will try to make a move. He stays behind, but look how close he is. He's literally on the gearbox of the Alpine driver. And now he goes for the move around the outside. Will he make it done? Yes, he is likely to make it done. There's still will to will. Axel does the same exact thing yet again. I wonder how furious the McLaren driver is now. Because you tried to get that overtake like 10 times. And it still cannot make it done. This made also Josh Evans getting close by 0.6 of a second. Like, he's already on the DRS of these two fighting for the race win. And he's got no time penalties. If he keeps it clean, if he keeps it tight, if he overtakes Marco Botta, he might get his first year win. And remember, Josh has finished only like, what, 5 races this season? And he's now looking for a podium. At least. So Josh has got 4th place in China, 9th in Singapore, 8th in France, I believe, 7th in Monza, and 10th in Mexico. That's all of his finishes. Rest of the races are DNS. And if he wins out that race, he takes that F1 seat guaranteed from Paulo Hausmann. But so there's Ray Dempsey we have to do about, so it might be still 9th place getting the seat. But with 4 laps to go, Botta around the outside, but he's only looking. If there's a chance to make a move, not really making it, but look how close he is. And it's literally on the centimeters, on the inches for American people watching us. Thank you, JP Drive, for this cool comment. We are looking for more action in these last 3.5 laps between the 3 drivers fighting for the race win. Josh loses out a bit, it looks like. Maybe a bad corner exit. But Axel still on that net lead. But with a penalty. Can he keep it going on the 1st place? I know it says 2nd. Liam is on the lead by 4.7. And I wonder what he's up to. Ezekiel gets 3 seconds of time penalty on the 10th place. As it looks like we're going to 3 laps to go. With these 3 drivers, actually, Josh might go for a move here. He's using a bit of more of ERS, but he's also checking that Marco Botta is making a move. That must have been influenced by a lag. That I have got very scared here and terrified that there might be a major collision. Actually giving a podium away to Ben Riddle and Chibuka Chukfuma. .2 of a second. is the gap now, and I wonder who's going to make the move going for the position up. Because right now it looks like Marco Volta is on the 3rd place. It is true. But look how close he is to R17 and how close Josh is to him. Josh clips the wall, and I wonder if he's got wing damage. He might still get a little bit of faster than the medium runners because he's on soft. But I wonder how it influences his car. What's kind of affection or influence? Just say influence. It looks like he's got no damage or the slightest damage in the world. As it looks like Caleb looking goes for the 3-second time penalty. Not for the move, for the 3 seconds. He's not getting that seat in F1, especially if he's a line user. But this we are still fighting. With 2 laps remaining, Liam Cross stays in the lead. Well, I was saying, yep, he's got to pit. As there's a free white into turn 3, Marco Botta is going to come out at the top of that one. No, Aurélien Lepelroute fights back, there's a spin, there's a contact. And Marco Botta is spun round by Aurélien Lepelroute. That's the end of the fight between the 2 drivers from Alpine and McLaren. Who's on now is Josh Evans. And I wonder if he touched Marco Botta or he got lucky to get him ghosted soon enough. Because right now that's the boiling point of the race. The gap between Liam and Axa is 4 seconds. Not 3/10. And Liam's got a penalty. I will not be checking what kind of penalty. But can Josh get that move done? And some kind of redemption for the McLaren. He's going down the inside. He's only looking if there's a space to make it. There was no. He gets a moment. He nearly spins round. But very luckily, he kept going without getting in the meeting with the wall. As Michael Gallien gets ahead of Chibuka Chukuma in the 6th. These 2 are likely to fight in F1 next season. And I wonder in which teams. As Josh Evans is on the last lap of the race. He knows Aurelian's got the penalty. But he will be fighting for that one on track as well. In 2nd place. Liam on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Maciek gets 3 seconds of the time penalty. Let's check the tires. 24 laps old mediums. And 0.2 of a gap. Looks like Liam is caring about these tires so much. He might get the win. But I wonder how is the tire percentage. I'm obsessively looking. I am obsessed with looking at Liam's tires and checking out how's the battle between Aurélien Lepelroute and Josh Evans on the last lap of this race. Can Josh take that 2nd place? It looks like Liam is likely to win as Josh goes down the inside. We missed out that one. Aurélien Lepelroute loses the place on the last lap of the race. And I wonder if Marco actually stops on track. I wonder what's going on. As he lets past Marco Botta and Ben Riedel, Liam Cross. I wonder if he cancels that penalty. But he gets to 2nd place at the moment. As Marco Botta crosses the line 2nd, Liam is dropped to 4th. And I wonder if it turns out to be the win as Josh Evans wins the race. I also must ask Aurélien about what he has done right now. Chibuka Chukuma spins on the ninth. Will cross the line on the ninth. Because Kasper Hjel, not only the first ERO F1 competitor from Denmark, or just only, because I was about to say he's getting points. Jakub Czechak is disconnected, Maciej Lutiński on the way to cross the line. Jakub Czechaj on the 12th place in his first ever no assist buttline race. Adam Hurtosz on the P30. What an event here in Australia. Well, you were very close with getting free. I'll be honest with you. Liam might have stepped on the podium. But a great race to finish the season that can get way better as Libenov. Thank you for crossing the line backwards. Got no points, so doesn't really matter. So, how are the standings? I wonder what Axel has done. But after a season long of pain, let's be honest. Because Josh Evans missed out loads of decent results, to say the least. Not race wins, because that was Drake, that was Goyle, there's Axel. He won the Australian Grand Prix in ERO F1 and the 62nd ERO win. Because the second one is season 5 F3 Singapore Grand Prix. No podium, except Hungarian Grand Prix in 3rd place in the same division, in F2 in season 5 as well. But Josh has done it. We're calling him ERO speedrunner in the past because within 8 races he's gone from DNFing in F3, winning F3 race, then podium in F2, then points in F1. We had to wait for the next step, which is a race win. And this race win gives Josh position number 8 in the stand. Added for Mark Botta, also who was on pole? Who was on pole? I just need to know who was on pole. Mark Botta. So 19 points for Mark Botta. 15 for Axa, I guess, yeah. 12 for Liam. And I'll be switching the screens. The conference screen. Because we still got that conference. A little bit to do. Probably shorter than usual because I always cannot make up questions. I never can make questions. So I'm switching to the F1 conference room and I'm waiting for the top 3. A very enjoyable race finish for the season that, let's be honest, might have gone way, way better. Well, that's of course terms of attendance, terms of driver stand, terms of some people. I just won't say who. But at the end of the day, you have been awarded with a great race to watch. I'll be honest with you. And I enjoyed it very much. We're just waiting for the conference to go on. I wonder if anyone of us has joined the chat. But it looks like it's just Adam Lapich, David Hoy, and Ryan Chapman from PC 1 and 2 hanging out on talking voice chat. And I wonder what they're up to. Hey, Axa.
Hey.
So, yeah, because you're the one a bit on the radar a bit after what happened with Botta Marco, and I'm wondering about your view of the incident.
Get on the stream, I guess.
Yeah, you are on the stream. It's confirmed.
I'm talking to Will, my mate.
Okay. First question goes to Aurélien Lepenroux.
Yeah.
About the last lap thing when you actually stopped on track. I wonder what you were up to there.
I just stopped on track because I was maybe too much unfair with Marco, because the thing I got angry is that I took a warning while I was trying to overtake him, so I have lost my mind, maybe, I don't know if we say like that. So after I was really aggressive and he spun, so I decided to let him by.
Well, that's been a great fair payment from you, I'll be honest.
Mm.
Well, we were confused at the beginning, but thanks for explaining out that one. Also, before that, of course, there was a Titanic fight. But now I have to come out with the questions. And the first one is to Josh, and it definitely is: how have you done that?
I don't know. I practiced a lot for this race in the coming weeks. That's why I was so gutted when it got cancelled the first time. But the practice paid off. I've had an unlucky season, getting taken out and having things go badly for me. But I needed last week's race. Where was the last race?
Brazil, we were
Brazil?
talking about.
I needed the points from Brazil and today to climb into the top 8. And after Brazil went badly, this was my last shot, so I had to knock it down and get onto it. And I was hoping I could do good, but I didn't think I could do this good. And I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. I can't take the grin off my face at the moment.
So, well, that alternate strategy paid off, and I guess wet weather in the qualifying has surprised you all. So, what I'm wondering about is what kind of setups you have went for.
My setup was a bit different. Many people used high on throttle differential, but for me, thanks to Sparks for this actually, because I was doing some research last week of setups and stuff, and I saw that he was using lower on throttle differential and thought I'd try it. So I was running about 55, 60 throughout the race, and I was bumping up through some corners where I felt like I needed a bit more stability. But yeah, I went 11-11, so I had higher wings than some people. I know a lot were running 11-10, 11-9, but I went with 11-11. I was going to anyway, I think, because it's what I practice most. But definitely with a wet qualifying, the 11-11 was going to be the choice, and I managed to pull out a quarter of a lap on my last lap after I did in the one before. I was ecstatic even then, but yeah, my heart has been pounding for 29 laps, and it's nice to get what you worked for pay off.
Well, I named it. I'll be honest with you. I named it after going through loads of pain. This man has actually won a race. Like,
Yeah.
finally.
Can I just say, who won the season finale last season for F1?
Well, you can say you are the ERU champion of Australian Grand Prix.
Well, Funky won the finale last season, and now I've done it myself. So level peg it again. Level peg it again between me and my teammate.
So the Monza decider is going to be between you two.
In season 8, yeah, season 7. Sorry.
Anyways, well, I've seen your strategies. Josh was on medium to soft, and Axel was on soft to medium. What were your expectations and goals of picking your strategies?
Well, I knew how fast the softs were compared to the mediums, but I was confident in my pace, so I decided to go for the mediums and pray that I could stay within DRS for at least 3 laps, and then hopefully I can just chug along behind the soft runners as they overheat generously. So that was the main plan, and I think it worked out pretty well. I was unlucky to not get P2 off the start. Well, I did get it, but I got outbraken into turn 3, which was always going to happen with the advantage of the grip and the inside. But I was happy to just chug along against the coattails of my other drivers, and luckily it paid off, and I managed to hold no penalties, only 1 warning on the first 5 laps, and from then I just chugged along with a ridiculous heart pace, which ended up fueling my actual on-track pace, thankfully. So yeah, it was good fun. Well, it wasn't actually; it was hell, but good fun.
So, Axel, now about his strategy, maybe?
I decided to start in soft because, in my opinion, my quali wasn't good, so my target was to come back So I decided to put soft to gain position and very aggressive in starts. And I succeeded to do in maybe 4 or 5 laps. So after I was 5 seconds to Marco and safety car and extra.
So, speaking about these, speaking about this event, or maybe we'll go to the next season. Speaking about next season, how are your expectations for the season 7? Are you going to fight for the championship with Quill, or are you going to get just better in the game, or what?
I'm going for the championship, pal. No prisoners. And I know that question was asked to me. It must have been. I don't know. This is obviously directed at Axel, but he did answer, so I'll save you the call there. But for myself, I'm just looking to build some more consistency. Obviously nowhere near championship standards at the moment. I'm too on and off with my pace, so I really need to sort that out because it's something that in 2020 I prided myself on was my consistency. Back when I had line on though, so it was a lot easier. But now you have to actually put in the effort. So I hope, as much as it painstakes me every week trying to learn tracks and master them without line, I hope that F1 next season is still no line, and we can start to build a better tier from it as we go. Because obviously we've had hardships this season with attendance and assists and things like that. So I hope my goal for next season is for us to have a better grid in general of 20 drivers that are consistently wanting to race and have the drive to do it, and we can just focus on that, and then hopefully the good things come away from that afterwards as a natural progression.
Well, I guess we're about to say that's it for the season 6. And since you're all on the stream, well, I'll only tell you the top 10 of the final ERO standings. The rest you can find on our Discord server, which is in the description. But the top 10 going from down of the field, or we can go full standings if you want. The guys from F1, you want it?
Yeah, just say top 20.
Well, I still go with the top 10. Well, you can still check out the things. Anyways, 10th place is Carl Pulkinen, the F2 champion with 40 points. Then we've got Paula Hausmann on the 9th with 42 points, even despite DNSing in the last 6 races, which means not starting. Then on the 8th place, we've got Josh Evans, 52 points and that one race win. You must be proud of that one. 7th place is Jack Jessel in the Williams, 66 points, Josh's teammate, who's got 2 podiums. 3rd place in Spain, 1st place in Mexico. 88 points for Tobia Grimaldi, who's been in Ferrari this season. Then we've got 2 McLarens of Chibuik and with 2 points, and Marco Borta Marco and with 110 points, so that was very tight. Then in the 3rd place is Aurelien Lepenru, 195 points. How do you feel about the season? Axel?
Yeah.
I was just feeling like,
This season.
Was it the max you could get, or you could have done better? What do you think?
No, I could have done better if I don't put myself in the wall in Azerbaijan, Singapore, and the glitch, the safety car glitch in Japan. I think it was I could have win maybe 3 race, and maybe I don't know. I did cheat this season, so I hope the next will be better. Can't be worse.
All right. Finishing up the standings, we've got on the 2nd place Drake Dempsey with 270 points. I'm still mad at him for ruining the championship fight. I'm moving to PC, but at least he's doing well out there. And our champion of season 6, who unfortunately isn't here, is Guilherme Daronia, who's won the entire season 6 of ERO and is going to try to defend that crown on season 7, which, what do you think? Are we going to have line only division, or will be going no assist without switching midway? You too.
Well, I've said my piece. Hopefully, no line.
I don't know because we saw that without assist we don't have a lot of people. So if we race at 10, it's not as exciting as we race like this.
Attendance should come first.
Yeah.
Because without attendance, there is no racing, so that should be prioritized.
Yep. And I hope with some sort of optimism we are going to season 7, which starts in New Year with 30th of January in the Bahrain, not Bahrain this time, US Grand Prix, which is pretty an original start to the season.
When it's starting, you said?
It's starting on January 30th.
Okay.
13th, 1-3.
Yeah, a bit. And also the signups are finishing on the on the 2nd of January with debut drivers race on PlayStation. You can sign up now on the Discord channel. You'll find the suitable links. We've got already like 75 responses, but also exclude the fact some people sent it twice because they had to improve data. So there's around 60 at the moment. There will be more. Well, wonder if we'll be getting Guil into this conference. Because he just replied to me that
I think he's playing FIFA maybe, so
actual champion plays FIFA.
I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. I'm gonna have to dip off. I got stuff to do. Thank you for the commentary. Thanks for your time. Speak to you another time.
Thank you as well. GG.
Alexa.
See you. Congrats.
Thank you, man. Congrats to you as well. Speak to you guys later. Bye.
See you.
So I wonder if we get going on the call. If you can tell me if he is there, because I'm just filling out the constructor standings. We're still going with the stream, by the way, so we can stay and say some words from your own. It's 12 points for Alpinda, 10 points for Haas, or maybe even more. Yeah, 12 points for Haas. And the Haas is here. McLaren boys got 15 and 8, so it means 21 for the second race running. Guess what, Aurelian? No, he isn't here. He isn't here, never mind. But to people on the stream, Alpine drivers have just lost the F3, the third place in the Constructors' Championship. So, finishing out the standing second place, there was Red Bull, there was one mighty point for Williams and Jack Jessel, and for Alfa Romeos, there have been no points. So, yep, the Constructors' Championship got a little bit of a twist this season, the finale. So, I guess I'll just tell them. So, Yamir was racing then at DNF. I gave him 0 points for that race. And I wonder if he raced in Mexico. Is it Goyle on the call?
It's me!
It's the champion of the world.
Wow! Like Max Verstappen?
More like Sebastian Vettel 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013.
Whoa, it's been a while.
Yep. Or even Max Verstappen, but you're on Aston Martin who has never got a champion, so you're... So, Otmar, if you hear us, you can sign gold now. But anyways, so speaking about the season, how were your expectations before it, and how did you feel on that championship fight against Drake Dempsey, of course?
Well, my main goal is always to win the race. It's why we race, so I wanted to win every week. That was the goal, of course. But yeah, I wanted especially to race like I wanted, to be at my best, and I think it was the case, because it was an amazing fight with Drake. The end is sad because he left before the end of the season, so the last races wasn't very important. It could have been an amazing end. It was quite complicated in Spa between us with some incidents, but yeah. I had some issues in several races. Like I have a DNS, and I wasn't at home in Spain, but I was still fighting for the championship. And Drake was very strong this year, and it was a pleasure to race with him.
Yep, that championship fight was definitely making the season overall a lot better. Unfortunately, it's been cut short, as you said. But well, what were your expectations? Were, of course, to win. We said that. Speaking about next season, because you don't have to do all these trial races and stuff for finishing in the
Yeah.
top 8. Are you going to defend that crown?
Of course, I'm here to win.
Who do you see as your biggest competitor for the next season? Like the closest rival?
I don't know who has signed up, so
Well,
I'll see.
I can tell you that Axe, Marco Volta, and Loki have already signed up from the guaranteed seats.
I think now I'm faster than them, but I will see if they make progress. Everything is possible. The season is long. Knowing that Hero will not be my main league because I have the challengers. So we'll see. We'll see.
Challengers are between January and February, right? Just February.
It starts mid-January and finish 31st of March. So
Well,
it's almost 3 months.
definitely we will be supporting you in this challengers thing as an ERO driver and champion as well. Well, actually, for the first time ever, I've got a reason to watch challengers rather than just spamming to join ERO.
Thank you. But yeah, I'll try my possible.
Also, considering the future, in terms of platform you'll be racing on, because this made me curious, very much curious. In F1 2022, because it's most likely no game on the PlayStation 4, but on the PlayStation 5, yes. So I wonder if you'll be switching to the PC or will stay with the PlayStation. Stay loyal to Sony.
I think you're not ready for this, but if I'm not qualified in an esport team, I will stop the game. So
You will not race anymore after season 7? If this happens?
I will find a job, so I won't have time to race a lot. I might have the game, but I won't have time to be strong like that, I think. So I'm giving everything I had to be strong at the challengers.
Well, come on. Just giving everything. Well, I would say also get that championship of season 7, but it must be Under one condition, you may get it. Under one condition, we need epic title fight.
Well, yeah. We'll see.
We've been robbed from that one this season. We need to get next one. Anyways, thank you for attending the conference. If I can ask you, where have you been during the race? But it really isn't a matter if you win the championship by 35 points, clearly getting it.
I was busy today, so I
Yeah,
couldn't
cool.
be.
No problem. Anyways, the challenge of season 7 starts in a month. For you in a month, because you know you're getting the seat. And you're getting, because I'm looking at the team picks right now, you will be racing in the Mercedes. And Aurélien Lepenroux, so Axe, is your number 2 teammate. So it all depends on Maxime Rodriguez. Maxo, the current still ERO gold because of getting 2 championships and 1 F2 championship. Even though you might argue that one. Is that right?
Yeah. It will be if Max is racing. All depends on his connection. I think he's close to have a good connection. So
Cars, he's getting a better one. So
yeah,
well,
it
the
could
next
be
season.
a good season.
So next season is the fight between you two of who's being the GOAT of ERO. And I guess that's where we end the conference with the champion of Guilherme Daronia. He's not only champion of PSGL season 26, he's not only the esports challenger, he's not only the esports challengers race winner, he's also getting that next year. We heard that one. By the way, which day they are racing on? Thursdays?
The challengers?
Yeah.
It's Wednesday.
Okay. So every Wednesday since mid-January, we are supporting Will on the streams chat of F1 channels. And in ERO on Sundays, he'll be racing and challenging Axe, for example. So, so that's it for season 6. That's it for today. And thank you very much for watching the very fine season finale. And here is where I say, sign up, support us, like, follow, whatever. Thank you for watching. Thank you for racing. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time because of the debut drivers race and full proper in a month and a week. Goodbye. And this is where I stop the stream.
Thank you, Wojciech. Thank you for this great season. It was very intense.